Hello and welcome to this video. So this is the second part in our two-part series on the question, why have I not yet been scheduled for interview as a DV 2025 applicant? In the first part, we saw two groups of applicants. The first are those for whom it is not yet time for their diversity visa interview to be scheduled. And the reason for that is because their case has not met the basic two conditions that we spoke about in that first video. And then we also saw the second group of applicants for whom it is time to be scheduled for interview, but so far they have not yet been scheduled for interview. And we were able to identify a number of issues that we said could be at the origin of such delays when it comes to the scheduling of their diversity visa interview. Now, in that video, I also said that the factors that cause delays in the scheduling of diversity visa interviews nowadays are factors that did not exist before but now exist, and they come from the application process. That is, at the different stages in the application process, there are issues that could cause delays when it comes to the scheduling of diversity visa interviews. So in this video, we will be providing details. We will consider the application process and at each stage identify the issue that could cause delay to the scheduling of your diversity visa interview. So let's go into that. The diversity visa application process officially begins when you submit your DS-260. Your DS-260 is your official application to the United States government saying to them that you were selected in the lottery, and based on your selection, you are now applying for immigrant status in the United States. So submitting your DS-260 is the first step in the application process. Nowadays, in the diversity visa program, when you submitted your DS-260 or when you submit your DS-260 could be a reason for delay in the scheduling of your diversity visa interview. As things are now happening in the diversity visa program, the sooner you submit your DS-260, that puts you ahead in the process. And the later you submit your DS-260, that puts your case behind in the application process. So it is advisable to submit your DS-260 early enough into this diversity visa program. So the question to you now is, when did you submit your DS-260? If you submitted your DS-260 in later months after the results were released, then that could be the reason why so far you have not yet been scheduled for interview. And that takes us to the next step in the diversity visa application process, which is the processing of your DS-260. After you submit your DS-260 to KCC, then they go about processing the DS-260. Now, processing is just like reviewing the information that is contained in the DS-260 and, if necessary, conducting background checks. So at this point, during the processing of your DS-260, in case there is some information contained in the DS-260 that calls for background check, it's going to take longer time for your processing to complete, and that could also lead to delays when it comes to the scheduling of your diversity visa interview. It could also be the number of persons that are in your case. For example, a case with only one applicant naturally would take lesser time to process as compared to a case that has as many as 5 applicants. Also, where have you been? That is your travel history. Because applicants who have visited some countries are more likely to undergo background checks as compared to applicants who have not visited certain countries. Also, your career path. So the question at this point is, what's contained in your DS-260? That could be the reason why so far your diversity visa interview has not yet been scheduled. And that takes us to the next stage in the application process, which is interview processing. This is the stage where KCC inquires of the visa office concerning availability of visa numbers for cases that have been processed. So in case there is no visa number available for your case yet, that could also cause delays when it comes to the scheduling of your diversity visa interview. And then to the final point, which is the final step in the diversity visa application process, the scheduling of your interview itself. And that is where the issue of embassy performance comes in. So the question at this level is, how is your embassy performing? Because if your embassy is performing well, then it's going to interview other cases ahead of your case fast enough to get to your case as soon as possible. But if unfortunately it has a bad performance, then it's going to delay the scheduling of your diversity visa interview. So delays when it comes to scheduling of diversity visa interviews nowadays could be caused by different factors at different levels of the application process. Now, as a diversity visa applicant, it is your responsibility to conduct what are usually referred to as case analysis. In other words, you have to analyze or take a closer look at the different factors from those different stages of the application process that could be the reason why your diversity visa interview is being delayed. So those are the different factors that could cause delay and what you could do as a diversity visa applicant. Now, before we end, what I'm going to do is to leave the link to the first part of this series just below this video for those of you guys who did not watch that first part. And with that, we've come to the end of this video and the series. Thanks for watching it. See you very soon, God willing, in the next one. Goodbye.